So I found this article. I found two, but I got the link to one. One will be in the description, talking about an investment banking company talking over the Switch. This one will be linked. Um, they're talking about it selling like 115 million, 115.8 million by 2023. Um, Not bad. First of all, that's not that bad. Personally, I see that number happening sooner than later. Let me explain why. First of all, I could, fuck it, where is it? Right here, 3DS. This thing in lifetime sales are above 60 plus million. I think it still sits higher than PS4's lifetime sales. But this thing's lifetime sales are really fucking impressive. And here's another thing. This is only handheld. This is the 3DS. Is the only handheld. You can't do anything else with it. It's the handheld. Sits over 60 million sold. Think about that. A handheld. A handheld by Nintendo. Six at pardon me. Sits at over 60 million sold in its lifetime and still selling. That's fucking insane. Okay. Now then, not only that, but the support of this thing, the support is insane. Okay, this thing is not the most powerful handheld on the market by any stretch of the imagination. This thing is not the most powerful fucking. It's got none of the most powerful graphics. Most people play in 2D, from what I understand. I play with 3D on all the time whenever I'm playing it. But the library of games, fuck, are you kidding me? I think the regular DS had like over 1,000 plus games. The 3DS has either close to or has beaten the DS library by this time. It is fucking insane how many games are out for this. Okay, look. You think I'm playing? This game right here. This is Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. That's all it is. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. Okay. Just to point out how good this system is. Where is it? It's right here. Yeah. This game right here is a Nintendo game. This is Fatal Frame for the 3DS. And this game right here, it shows off the 3DS way better than a Mario or way better than even the Zelda games. Any game by Nintendo, in fact. Even better than their Metroid game can show it off. And I'm not talking Federation either. I don't have Federation. But Spirit Camera is the game to have. It might not be well received, but it's the game to have. Because if you have Spirit Camera, you can see what everything is. Like, you can find out everything the 3DS is capable of. Okay? Now, saying that, there is so many fucking titles out there, from JRPGs to strategy RPGs. There's like, I think, 5, 6 Fire Emblem games. There's like so much content on the 3DS. And the reason I'm talking about the 3DS is because this thing, like I said, this just should give you a little preview of what the fuck the Switch is in store for, because the potential is there. The potential is right there in front of you. Because this can't hook up to a television. You can't hook this up to a television. The Switch can be hooked up to your television. Okay? There's so many more things the Switch can do. There's so many more things that the Switch is capable of doing. There's so many things developers can take advantage of with the Switch, that portability is just one of them. Like, when you build up everything the Switch is capable of, portability of it is like not even the top bracket of things it's capable of that developers need to even think about. That right there means holy fuck. You get what I'm saying? When it comes to developing for this thing, making games for this thing, the amount of games that should be on this thing. Okay, we're in November right now. Third-party titles are the focus for November. Think about that. November sees Nintendo releasing their first-party games on the 3DS. They're not even focused on releasing first-party titles this month on the Switch because the 28th saw Mario Odyssey. They're not releasing a game this month to combat against Skyrim, Doom, LA Noire, Rocket League. They're not doing anything. They're just sitting back and they're letting Bethesda go, Rockstar, and whoever the hell makes Rocket League. I don't know. But they're letting them have it. That's what they're doing. They're letting third-party titles and third-party developers take fucking November. They're like, hey man, third-party games, y'all can have fucking November. Have at it. And fuck if they are not taking advantage. Rime is supposed to release this month as well. I don't think the hard copy will be released, but the eShop says that the digital version will be out this month. So it looks like I'm getting the digital copy because I'm not waiting for the hard copy anymore. I waited all summer for this fucking game. Okay? So this month alone, I mean, a fuck ton of games are coming out, and this month alone should. Oh, Resident Evil Revelations as well. I forgot about that game. But that game is coming out. I'm not talking about just Revelations from the 3DS or Wii U, PS3, Xbox One, or PS3. I'm not talking about just that. I'm talking about Revelations 2 as well, which was on only the PS4 and the fucking Xbox One, as far as I know. I don't know if it was released on the 360 or PS3. It might have been. I don't know. I didn't really care for it. So, again, Revelations 2 is coming out as well. That's fucking impressive, okay? And what you should probably take note from this month in the Switch's lifespan is how well these games play, how well these games are developed, how well these games perform, you know? And this will set your tone for the future. And I'm telling you right now, with this overall, it's looking fucking promising. I can tell you that. And not only that, man, but some of these indie titles, holy shit, man. Vaccine, what the fuck was that? That game is fucking insane. You have, what is it, Oceanhorn or some shit like that? I think it's called Oceanhorn. That game is fucking beautiful. That game is, oh my god, that game is fucking beautiful, and it's so fucking weird. And then I have another game I can't pronounce, but it plays kind of like, if I had to compare it to anything, it would be Ori of the Blind Forest, and there's a game by Ubisoft that it's kind of like Ori, but it's not Ori. It's kind of like Ori. Child of Light. That's it. Child of Light. So if I compare the game that's on the Switch that I bought, I can't pronounce it, but I think it starts with a P. It plays like those. It's very colorful. You get a little companion in it. Like I think it's a little. I don't want to say it's a fairy, but it's kind of like a little butterfly type deal thing. You get a sword and a shield that kind of floats behind you. That's why I say it's kind of like Child of Light, but it's kind of like Ori as well, because you're kind of running through the woods. That's why I compared it to Ori a little bit. And I don't really like comparing it to anything. I don't like comparing games to each other because it's, you're saying they're too much similar, but this game, that's the only similarities, is you're running through the forest. That's why I compare it to Ori. And then Child of Light, because you have a sword, and Child of Light is kind of a platformer in that sense of the way this game is. These games are really fucking good. They're really fucking good. And of course I had that one demo game from Squaresoft or Square Enix. The one they released, that Octo whatever, I got that as well. These games are fucking incredible. So I can see how this thing is going to do really good, and the potential is there. Like I said, the potential is there. So what we need to do in November here is, hey, focus on how these games perform, how these games handle, how these games, you know, how their mechanics work, how these developers have brought these games here. A lot of them are ported over now. So we need to focus on that, because if they're done the right way and they handle the right way, they sell good. This thing is going to do some real good numbers real fucking fast. Okay? That's all I want to talk about on the Switch side of things, because like I said, that bank was predicting 115.8 million by 2023, and this is the first year. And with November being huge for third-party support, whether it be AAA with Skyrim and Doom, or it be indie with Rocket League and Rime, it's going to be big as long as these games that are coming out in November do what they're supposed to do and they show the right thing. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is this fucking weird article. If I can find it, I'll link it. If I can't, screw it. Why are we comparing a game that's only on one generation to a game that's on multiple generations? Why are we doing this? Who let this happen? Well, I know who's doing it. It's comicbook.com, but why are you doing this? I want to know why. You cannot do this. This is why I don't like the argument of, is Zelda Breath of the Wild better than or as good as Horizon Zero Dawn? Because first of all, Zelda is a legacy, Horizon is a new IP. It's totally fucking stupid to have that argument. I don't like comparing these things, okay? I don't like comparing a game that's on two generations to a game that's on just one. I don't like doing that, especially when you talk about numbers. Because of course the game that's on multiple systems is going to have higher sales numbers than the one that's on one generation. Because it's on multiple generations. You got more than one opportunity to buy the fucking thing. Okay? Now, the game I'm talking about, of course, is Grand Theft Auto 5. And the game I'm talking about for the one console is Wii Sports. And they've compared these two because apparently Wii Sports was the highest selling game for who the fuck knows. But the reason it sold so well was because it was bundled with the system. First of all, let's get that out the way. And apparently Grand Theft Auto has sold so many that it surpassed it. But what they don't want to tell you is, and they seem to forget, is Grand Theft Auto 5 is on two generations. They have to combine those two generations to make that massive number. Okay, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out first on the PS3, Xbox 360. I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying, had they stopped there, had Rockstar said, no, we're not going to port this game to the PS4 and the Xbox One. Instead, we're going to release Grand Theft Auto 6 on there. Would Grand Theft Auto 5 really have these numbers? Would they really? Chances are no. Chances are right now we'd be talking about Grand Theft Auto 6 having Sosa numbers maybe? We don't know. But because Rockstar said we're going to port 5 to the new generation and keep it going, the numbers are so high. But nobody likes to talk about that. Nobody likes to talk about the elephant in the room, which is this generation, especially on PS4 and Xbox One, ports, because they're such a big thing. Nobody likes to talk about that. Nobody likes to bring up the port factor of the PS4 and Xbox One. Nobody likes to bring that up. Oh man, these games are selling real great. When you add in last gen's sales numbers, yes, they're doing great. But when you take them away, they're doing horrible. Okay, you've got to remember that. Dishonored is on two generations. Not Dishonored 2, just Dishonored is on two generations. PS4, Xbox 360, or PS4 and Xbox One, PS3, 360. It's 2 generations. GTA 5, same thing, 2 generations. You gotta add all those numbers in to make that one number that looks really good. Otherwise, you take that number away. And that big number you just had shrinks. So, when they're saying, hey, this game is sold really, really well, they're kind of adding these two numbers together. They're not making it, oh, the PS4 and the Xbox One numbers are so fucking up there. No. They're adding all that in there. They're adding them together. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them pull that curtain over your eyes. The Wii Sports game was only ever on the Wii. One generation. The reason they didn't port it over was because the Wii is backwards compatible. The Wii U is backwards compatible. That's the reason why they didn't have to. You didn't have to port anything from the Wii. They were backwards compatible. The PS4 isn't. The Xbox One is. I don't know why they just make that game backwards compatible, other than the fact people were like, oh, hey, we got, first person view, which is not that big of a selling point for me. But anyway, like I said, I don't think that's that big of a fucking thing. But people fell for it. People were like, oh my god, the PS fucking 4 and Xbox One, Grand Theft Auto 5, and, Grand Theft Auto 5 is beating the Wii Sports game sales. Like, it didn't, because this is on 2 generations. You put a game that's on multiple generations up against a game that's on 1 generation, it should beat it. Because you have multiple copies of the same game you can buy multiple times. Versus the one game you can only buy on 1 generation. Where in the hell do you figure that game is not gonna beat? Where do you figure that, Grand Theft Auto is not gonna beat Wii Sports if you can buy it on multiple systems? It's like saying Grand Theft Auto 3 isn't gonna be able to beat it. It should be. It's on everything. It's on PS2, PS3 through digital download, PS4 through digital download, cell phones, tablets. How do you figure you can't? See what I'm saying? Anyway, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Deuces.